Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and this is the core of the format, the top of the format. This is the deck that Juju Bean won Eternal Weekend Prog with. This is Temur Delver, requested by Patreon subscriber Harain. This is coming out a couple days before the American Eternal Weekend, and I hope this is useful to those of you considering the deck. The first thing I want to talk about with this deck, and it's a very classic Delver of Sacred strategy. You got 8 1-drops that can attack for 3, 4 Wasteland, 4 Daze, 4 Force of Will. You're trying to get up under your opponent, disrupt them until they die. The most efficient counters and removal and threats that have been printed, all in a tight little 18 land package. Got all the cantrips to hit your land drops when you need lands, and only find spells in the mid-game. Just a perfect, beautiful execution of the Legacy format all in one deck. As far as this actual list, one thing I want to point out right from the jump is that although this is a Temur Delver list, let's look really closely at the green cards. There is not a single green card in the sideboard. The only green card in the main deck is Questing Druid, and the primary text on Questing Druid is Seek the Beast, exile the top 2 cards of your library until end of turns you can play those cards. The Is It Delver deck, when it got Expressive Iteration banned, tried a bunch of stuff like Ren's Resolve and Chart a Course, just a bunch of ways to draw 2 cards for 2 mana to try to fill in that Expressive Iteration slot. And Questing Druid is just a Ren's Resolve or Reckless Impulse kind of effect, but then it has the flavor text of, at some point in the game, you can fetch your single source of green mana and play a threat out of it. But in general, 1 Tropical Island, no Hooting Mandrills, no Up the Beanstalk, no Life from the Loam, no Uro. We've seen these Rug Tempo decks go pretty deep into green, and this is actually just Is It Delver with a tiny little respect for the fact that Questing Druid is a real creature on the front. But if this trop gets wasted, you're playing Is It. And you might just end up playing Is It anyway. I just think that's really important to point out as far as play patterns go, because I've seen more mid-range builds that don't even play Delver of Secrets, and they're really in on Questing Druid, and they set up these like turn 4, turn 5 situations where they play 2 Questing Druids in a turn, and then they force your removal spell, and their Questing Druids get bigger. You can't even do that because there's only 1 Tropical Island in this deck. This is It Delver, and we should think about it appropriately. That out of the way, Juju also made some pretty interesting card choices. Stern Dismissal, return target creature enchantment opponent controls to its owner's hand. Just 1 blue. We're just playing Unsummon with upside in this deck. That should indicate a little bit how forward we want to lean when we're playing this deck. We're not really sitting back and trying to grind opponents out with cards. This is, I want to delete your creature temporarily, punch you for a bunch of damage, and get over the finish line with this card. And then Portent. Wild decision here. I honestly thought this was a mistake when they printed the deck list after Eternal Weekend. Portent is Ponder. However, you could target either player with the look at 3 cards, and then you don't get to draw a card until the next turn. Why would we play a card like this over Preordain, which, not appearing in the list, it's a sorcery all the same for Delirium? Why is Portent being played in this spot? And I'm going to be honest, I could try to reverse engineer it, but I haven't talked to Juju. I don't actually know what specific problem this is trying to solve. But if you are trying to set up something like Questing Druid, maybe it's better to draw the card later. Maybe this sidesteps something like Narset or Leovold, but like those aren't even that common in the format right now. You could get some card selection without triggering an Orcish Bowmaster right away. Like, you Portent, and then you'll trigger Bowmaster next turn, but you don't have to shove right into it, I guess. My best guess is that you target your opponent somewhat reliably with this, because if your opponent, you look at their top 3 cards and one of them's bad, you can just make them keep that card. And if they're all good, you can make them shuffle. It's just Ponder that targets. And I can see a world where you stick your Murktide and then you portent them, or vice versa. You portent them, see Murktide's clear for 2 turns, and then you just shove your Murktide and win. You could also mess up Doomsday piles with this. Buy 1 critical turn versus the initiative. This is really interesting, and I wish I understood it better. I probably could have just asked Juju before recording this, but here we are. Portent is in this deck, and that's what we're up to here. This is it Delver? Technically Temur because of the flavor text on Questing Druid, but this is fundamentally is it Delver with some spicy card choices, and this one Eternal Weekend. Let's get into it. If you're coming to Eternal Weekend Pittsburgh, make sure to stop by the 3-for-1 trading booth Thursday, December 7th between 4 and 7:30 p.m. to hang out with me in my official fan meet and greet sponsored by 3-for-1 Trading. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw for round 1. My opponent says, hello, YouTube. Everyone say hi to Marcelo SCA. Ska? Do we just say Ska? I love Ska. I will keep this hand. No interaction of any kind, but I do have a Delver and some card selection. I'm in. I guess Wasteland can be considered interaction, depending on the matchup. Okay, Cavern of Souls. Wasteland has text in the matchup, if I'm even alive that long. Goblin Lackey, son of a biscuit. Okay, well, I'm in some trouble here. I'm going to bobble myself and see if there's a lightning bolt there. There's a Force of Will there. That's not going to help me. I'm going to fetch for Volcanic Island and play this Delver of Secrets and hope that they can't kill it. Backup Delver. Goblin Lackey. I block the hell out of this all day, every day. Okay, that could have been worse. Now I get to Wasteland their Cavern, play another Delver, and they didn't do anything last turn. Okay. We dodged a serious bullet there. We might still get Mind Goblined at some point, but that was nice. Now I regret bottoming the Force, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, I can't quite Murktide with what I got. Delver didn't flip. I could spend a turn. I could just Brainstorm right now and see what happens. I could use this turn to seek a beast. I think I'm interested in seeking a beast. I'm also interested in trading off wherever I can with this deck. Like, if they block this, I could play Murktide second main. And yeah, like, they're clearly missing mana sources, and Skark Prospector is a potentially terrifying mana engine. Getting in for 1. If they Earwig Squad me, I deserve it. I'm going to seek a beast here. Daze and land are what I flipped. I'll reveal a different Daze to the Delver. Got there. And play Scalding Tarn from exile. It's a little annoying that the Tropical Island's in my hand, but I guess this is what I was talking about in the deck tech of where actually is it Delver. Tropical Island back into the deck, and Polluted Delta back into the deck. I could just shove Murktide here. I could play this Questing Druid and start growing the team. I think with Daze in my hand, I am interested in getting this buddy out. I think I'm good to attack here. I don't care about Skark Prospector beats. Bobble you. Uh-oh, Cavern of Souls. Well, my daze just got worse. Goblin Warchief cannot be dazed. And I could daze to grow the Questing Druid, but I don't think that's actually good. And I would like to find a Wasteland this turn. If I play DRC first, that's just more looks on the way to Wasteland. Brainstorm, all sorts of triggers when I cast my spell. What a thrill ride. This Brainstorm could be 3 more looks at Wasteland. I'll keep that on top. Questing Druid Daze, Volcanic Island. When I play the other Brainstorm, I get to mill 1 of these cards. I don't think I need this Volcanic Island. And I can Brainstorm, mill the Volk. 2 fresh looks here. No love. I'm going to put back at least 1 of these Dazes. I mean, the Daze is not good against Cavern, but if they use Cavern to play Mind Goblin, I could possibly Daze what comes off of it. I don't think I need 2 Murktides as this game moves forward. No Lightning Bolt, no Unholy Heat. Big bummer. We're not doing any Mystic Sanctuary stuff either. This deck is here to lean forward, and we did it. I feel like we got really lucky there. Unholy Heat comes in. Counterbalance is interesting. So's Grafdigger's Cage. Cage stops Muxus. We didn't actually see a Muxus. That doesn't mean they don't have it. Counterbalance can be annoying if they don't have Cavern. Unholy Heat, 100%. I think I'm actually going to chill pretty hard on Daze and cut one Force. I will bring in the counterbalances. They might not be where I want to be. Maybe this is just supposed to be Unholy Heat and then leave the deck mostly intact. I don't know if they are full Explodey Goblins yet, or if they are more traditional. We only actually saw War Chief, some lands, and Lackey that game, and Prospector. Prospector might lean things a little towards the Explodey version. Okay, Explodey version confirmed. We might be dead. Chrome Mox. Unlicensed. Okay, that's not a Chalice of the Void. That's what I was suddenly worried about when they did that. I'm going to play this Volcanic Island and simply pass the turn, because if they have Mind Goblin, I can bolt it in response to its trigger, and it won't make any mana. If they have some haste creature, and if they do nothing, I could just Brainstorm. Or I could play Wasteland and pass the turn and be ready to seek a beast. Cool. We have a Goblin to kill. Unholy Heat. And I think I'd rather seek the beast here than do anything else. And there's nothing else, I mean, other than, like, Portent is the other thing I could do here, and that just doesn't make sense. Bowmaster. Okay, well, that's going to die to Unholy Heat. Handled that. Another land. Okay. That means I can Portent and still Questing Druid. I'm going to Portent myself. Bolt, Ponder, Ponder. That means I can seek into double Ponder, or just have double Bolt in my hand. Yeah, I'll draw the Bolt. I am not going to shuffle my library with Portent, and I'll pass the turn. This Unlicensed Hearse is doing work over there. Their fourth land. Blood Moon. Okay. I can just bounce this. And I'm a deck that plays Blood Moon, so this isn't, like, completely horrific, and it's annoying. Stern Dismissal busted. That's funny. Okay, so I'm looking for an answer to Blood Moon or a threat I can play around it. I could Seek and hit a Ponder here. Yeah, I'm going to Seek. I know there's a Ponder. I do have a basic island, which I now have access to. Sick. I think I might just want to play the Questing Druid. Maybe this is insane. My opponent has 2 cards in their hand. One of them's Blood Moon. I could just play Questing Druid and bolt them a bunch. That's so... No, that is deranged behavior. I'm just going to cast Ponder. Delver DRC. Okay, this is great. I wish I could have both of these. Delver's better, though, because they have the Unlicensed Hearse. Basic Island Delver. Okay. I am not going to be able to play Questing Druid this game, but I do have cards to play here. I could Brainstorm aggressively to flip the Delver. I don't normally like doing that, but while I'm under a squeeze like this, I think it's reasonable. Wasteland, Ponder. And that, I'm glad I did, because that Delver was not going to flip anytime soon. Land, Bauble. What are you drawing? Goblin Lackey. Okay. I'm good on that. Unlicensed Hearse is enormous. You forget about their goblins. I'm worried about this Hearse just becoming crude at some point. Mind Goblin. I hate that this can crew the Hearse. I'm just going to bolt this. That's gone. You do not get mana. You can play Goblin Lackey, which if their last card in hand is Muxus, then the Lackey could also represent that. Oh, interesting. They just didn't even play Lackey. That's scary. Redelver. Wasteland, Redelver. Hope they don't have Fury. Another Chrome Mox. Oh, they must be playing Muxus here if they sandbagged. But that's still only 5 mana. Ringleader. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's a good one. Please miss. They hit Battlecry Goblin, Mind Goblin, and Skirk Prospector. Those cards are not bad, but it also could have been way worse. This is way worse. Crewing the Hearse. Getting in for 9. Yikes. What even is my out to this? I already sternly dismissed this game. Okay, I'm going to take 9 once and see if I can make something happen with my hand this turn. Flooded Strand, damn it. Not helpful. Ponder. Dragon's Rage Channeler, that is a 1-1. Brainstorm on top will flip Delver. Does this actually win me the game? If I attack for 4 and play 1-1 Dragon's Rage Channeler, they're at 10. I chump block Unlicensed Hearse. Then I attack for 6, they're at 4. Lightning Bolt doesn't get it done. I can't play the Murktide underneath. And I probably have to bolt the Battlecry Goblin at some point because that card's unbeatable. Oh wait, when I bolt... Shit. When I bolt, I get a DRC trigger. I stacked this wrong. It does give me hope, though. Alright, I am not going to shuffle my library. I'm going to play the Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'm going to attack for 4. I can't bolt this turn. I have to bolt the following turn. Because I forgot about Surveil. And I need to clear the Murktide if I'm going to win this game. They do have a distressing amount of mana. This Battlecry Goblin might just get it done. Namesticker Goblin, 5 mana. Goblin Warchief, gross. That was a good find. Battlecry Goblin. Okay, they can activate this once currently, which is probably enough. They are hellbent, so I'm going to take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay, okay. I'm dead way around the... Okay. They're a Blood Moon deck. I'm slightly more interested in Force of Will now. I think Counterbalance might be a pipe dream. I think I want my Dazes in on the play. I still don't hate Grafdigger's Cage. Maybe that's foolish. Am I trying to melt down the Chrome Moxes and Unlicensed Hearse? That's actually super interesting. Maybe I don't want Grafdigger's Cage and I'll play a Meltdown. Okay, let's try it. I will keep this hand. Dragon's Rage Channeler is a nice start to the game. Hope they don't turn 1 Blood Moon me. If I get to even turn 2 and Important, I'll be feeling okay. Mountain Pass. What a relief. I'll take that all day. And Flooded Strand. I think I'm just going to attack here. I could Portent Bolt Daze. I could get Questing Druid going. Just going to hold my mana up. Chrome Mox, that resolves. Unlicensed Hearse. Okay. I mean, that card is annoying. This Dragon's Rage Channeler is going to be a little stinky. But it did not impede my ability to play the game in the short term. Seek the Beast. Delver. I'll keep that. That's a spell I can play. Pressure on the board. I'm definitely cashing out everything I can out of this Druid. I get this. Delver of Secrets. Mishra's Bauble. Brainstorm. I like Brainstorms. I could Portent them. Is that the trick? Attack with Channeler. I'm going to wait for them to activate the Hearse to tap my Bauble. Because it's the same to me, but if we just pass priority here and they don't do anything. City of Traders. That's a lot of big mana. Uh-oh. Cavern of Souls. Ringleader is going to resolve, of course. And there's a Muxus, Broadside Bombardiers, Rabblemaster. Yikes. Okay. I need a Wasteland real bad. I'm going to start with Brainstorm here. Ponder into the graveyard. Force of Will on top. Embarrassing, shameful stuff. What's the least helpful card here? Probably Daze. If I put back Daze and Portent, then I take 2 here. Delver flips off of Portent. I can play my second Channeler. Mishra's Bauble, mill a bunch of cards. Try to find a Wasteland in time to deal with this Cavern before the Muxus kills me. Flip Revealing Portent. Channeler. Bauble. Mill the Daze. Mill the Flooded Strand. Brainstorm sees infinite cards here. Stern Dismissal. I hate that I want that. I mean, that does eventually bounce the Unlicensed Hearse, but Graveyard. Brainstorm is even more looks. It's another 5 looks at Wasteland. Alright, Brainstorm on top. Put back. The Bauble is 2 free clears here. If I don't think Lightning Bolt's going to help me this game, which is unfortunate, because even if I handle the Cavern, Lightning Bolt is going to be important versus these Broadside Bombardiers. I'm running out of blue cards. I think Volcanic Island definitely goes back, and I need to hold Force blue card. Okay, Lightning Bolt, Volcanic Island. I'll mill both away. Bolt's gone. Bulk's gone. Brainstorm. 5 looks for a Wasteland. Bulk's gone. Wasteland, keep. We did it. And by we did it, I mean we're going to narrowly survive getting Muxus. Okay, put back Meltdown and Portent. Wasteland your Cavern. Bauble you. Drawing Ancient Tomb. Bauble you some more. and attack for 4. Somehow, still don't have Delirium after all that. It's because I didn't cast Portent, or didn't build a Portent. It might actually be better, though, if I sandbag a sorcery for next turn. I don't know, if they tap the Hearse on their turn, that's good for me. Wowie, Pyrokinesis killing all my shit. And if I force this, then they cast Muxus. Yikes. Well, that sucks. What did they exile to that? The Bowmaster? Okay. Wow, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could get to 5 mana here, and then I could spend another turn trying to deal with Muxus. And this Broadside Bombardier just kills my shit anyway. Okay. And my creatures are dead, I guess. That was messed up. Yeah, draw these 2 cards. Meltdown can kill the Hearse and the Chrome Mox next turn. There's Ancient Tomb. They can play the stupid Bombardiers anyway, and Ringleader does 6 damage off of Bombardier. It's just so fucked. But like, even with all this, I'm just dead to Muxus, so I still can't force this. Oh dear. That Pyrokinesis was real bad for me. Just exiled 2 instants from my graveyard. Yeah, I mean, Murktide's my best draw. Let's see if they deal damage to me with the Bombardiers. They could 6 me off the Ringleader, 4 me off the Hearse. Oh yeah, they're just 6ing me. Hell yeah. Powerful stuff. Another Force of Will. Oh, I can melt down all their stuff, then force the Muxus, and then deal with this 2/2 from 3 life, 2 life. Oh god. I'm very dead. There's the city. No! Don't have more stuff! This kills me. Yeah, because the Namestirker Goblin casts the Muxus, then it's an extra 5 damage off the Bombardier. Okay, I need to draw a Lightning Bolt right now. Or could they throw this? No, it's other creature. Alright, seek the beast, find a Lightning Bolt, please. We're in there. Found a Lightning Bolt. Kill your creature. Play Polluted Delta. Force the Muxus, and then I can play my Questing Druid at 3 life. 2 life. Oh, come on! There is no relenting. There is nothing but pain here. The True Cavern of Souls this turn. Maybe Muxus will miss. Just show me 6 non-goblins. Or, you know, just 5 goblins. Alright. Yeah, we were just like a step behind on every turn of that game. GG's. On to the next round. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. You can also find Jeremy co-hosting episodes 106 and 109 of the Tech Talk series with Keith Shaw on the Tech Talk YouTube channel. Head over to Tech Talk and don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube channel for every episode of Dev Better. On the draw in round 2. Got a Delver Force of Will hand. Let's run it. A Swamp. A Thoughtseize. Resolves. Took the Delver, okay. Lightning Bolt. Is this Black Saga Storm? Is that what we're dealing with here? If it is Black Saga Storm, and they took Delver over Force of Will, that's really interesting to me. Okay, it's like Mono Black Scam or something. Okay, fetch. Volcanic Island, cast Brainstorm. They're gonna Bowmaster, I'm gonna force it. I'd love to find just a land. Okay, I not only found a land, but a good one. If I hide the 2 Questing Druids, then I have to Seek the Beast in to Seek the Beast. And Wastelanding the Saga is tempting, but then I don't have the second land for the other Questing Druid. I think Questing Druid is my best way forward in this game, but they're not good when you string them together, like I just said. Okay. DRC, Questing Druid, in that order. This Grief will probably take one of the Questing Druids, or the Questing Druid that is there. They took Ponder, okay. Correctly identified that, I guess wasting them and playing Ponder to find the second land and getting my Druids going is actually really good. I'm just going to try to Seek the Beast, pull ahead this turn. I know I'm hitting DRC, that's something I can cast, and then I can waste the Saga, and just hope I don't get Doom reanimated this turn. There was another deck that top 8'd Eternal Weekend Prague, same event that this deck won, and that deck was a crazy, like, scam reanimator versus Saga hybrid. I played it on the channel yesterday, actually. Seek the Beast. I'd love to just hit a land here. Dark Ritual, oh no. What's happening? Are we just making a construct? We are making a construct. Are we also casting Entomb? We are. Okay. Just had a little bit of everything there. That was pretty good. Archon of Cruelty is in the graveyard. I hit Daze. Perfect. They did time that extremely well. DRC, Wasteland Your Saga, play Volcanic Island, and if they have Reanimate as their last card in hand, I'm dead. Because they can't Daze this turn. Do they have it all? Now Animate Dead is on. Currency Converter. Okay, okay. That card is good eventually, but pretty mid at the moment. And I could bolt the Construct and just clear the runway here. I could bolt their face and try to get the game over. Do I care about this Construct, is the question. Currency Converter making treasures can make Construct bigger. I think I'd rather get the game over. Just go face here. Volcanic Island. I don't want that. Graveyard. I briefly considered Upkeep Seek the Beast when I know I'm hitting a land, but I don't think that's actually how I want to do this. Daze might be a good draw. To be determined. If they have Animate Dead, Daze is a great draw. If they have Reanimate, it doesn't matter. But it's a blue card in my hand. I can flip Force off Questing Druid and pitch a blue card from my hand. Look at the way Magic Online is displaying this old border swamp and this crazy border swamp. It literally looks like one swamp that's in 3D. It doesn't even look like two cards. Dothy Voidwalker. Okay. I'm going to Seek the Beast in response and then Daze this. Force of Will. Bummer. I actually do want that card. I want access to that card, but I don't want to flip it to Seek the Beast here. I'm going to bin it. Portent and Polluted Delta. Okay. Daze, the Voidwalker. Stern Dismissal. That's actually kind of good. Top of the library, please. Then I've got Polluted Delta from Exile, and I'm going to Portent you. This is the spot. Get him in the lock. Wasteland into the graveyard. Okay, look at the cards. And then I'm going to put Reanimate, Troll, Delta, in that order. I'm not going to shuffle their deck. They're drawing Polluted Delta here. I drew Murktide Region off my Portent trigger. They can get to the Reanimate by activating Currency Converter. I hope it doesn't matter by the time I get there, though. Volcanic Island, attack for 3. They won't be able to Reanimate Troll anymore, or Archon, and then Murktide. Full size without losing Delirium, and I can still Stern Dismissal something if I need to. Or they didn't activate Converter. Now they just have to draw this Troll of Khazad-dûm. Now they're converting. Okay. They did correctly identify that I hid the best card 3 cards down. It just no longer matters. What are we reanimating? You're at 4. Good luck. Archon of Cruelty. Good call. Resolves. Okay, we're against the Riskaminator deck. Surgical Cage. Counterbalance seems reasonable. They do have me in the spot where, like, this deck can sideboard into full Fable, the Mirror Breaker, Rakdos, basically a Pioneer deck. And if I do something like bring in all my Force and Negations, then they might just get me with that. Whereas if I don't bring in enough interaction, then they could just get me with the Reanimator stuff if they left that in. Then Unholy Heat Lightning Bolt's good against half their deck, and Graveyard Hate and Forces are good against the other half. That is what they're doing here. Against the Dark Ritual deck, I can definitely shave the Dazes and turn those into real cards. Question is, do I think Unholy Heat is a realer card than Counterbalance? Do I think Counterbalance is a realer card than Force of Negation? They are a Bowmaster deck. I'm going to turn a Bauble into an Unholy Heat. And this leaves me with Surgical, Grafdigger's Cage, and 4 Forces to beat the Reanimator half of their deck. I'm going to go +1 Force of Negation. I'm not going to go crazy here, but I do want to respect that the deck can do that, even if it's not very good at it. Uh-oh. No lands. Going to be mulliganing this one. Okay. Force of Will and Grafdigger's Cage keep. And I think I bought him Lightning Bolt here, which sucks if they just, like, play Dothy Voidwalker. Or maybe I bought him a land. Like, if I bought him Volcanic Island, I can play the Cage, I can bolt something afterwards, and I have Force, double Force with a backup blue card. Hey, I'm actually going to bottom the land here. Swamp, Thoughtseize. I could force Thoughtseize and just make sure Cage is in play. I am going to do that. This might be aggressive, but I think being able to ignore the other half of their deck for the whole game is worth it. If they follow up with a Grief here and take the card, bummer. Okay. They could Grief me now. They'll probably take the Cage. Alright. Unfortunate they had the double pump there on the play. Ooh, cool. But I drew a creature. Dragon's Rage Channeler, get in there. Cause some trouble. Could just die to land and Tomb Reanimate here. But we are learning what their sideboard plan is, if they are still reanimating or if they're on the fair stuff. Bloodstain Mire. Animate Dead, targeting Grief. Okay. You know, as far as things that could have happened this turn, that was fine. The Portent is my 4th card type. I'm just not even worried about finding Delirium here. And I think this is a Portent use situation. Like, I'm ahead here, as long as they don't find anything good. Do I want this land? Yeah, probably. Your cards are Ashiok, the One Ring, and a Swamp. Okay. The One Ring. Ashiok's actually super shitty for me. Ashiok, Ring, Swamp. I could just make them shuffle this, if I don't want to see the Ashiok ever. Alright, I'm gonna bet against. Here we go. Keep your cards. Keep your secrets. That One Ring will be a problem, though, if they can get it on the stack. Here's the Swamp I gave them. Gothy Voidwalker. Okay, a little late to the party on that one. I have Delirium. Unholy Heat. Sick. Okay, they're drawing the One Ring next turn. I think I want to heat this Gothy Voidwalker. And I'll put this land in my graveyard. I'm good on those now. Island, Ponder. I'd love to find Daze. Volcanic Island into the graveyard. Oh, I boarded out Daze. I'm not going to find Daze. It's a good bet. I will put the Portent in my hand, hide the Force of Will. And if I drew this up correctly, and if their last card in hand is a mana source, they're just going to shove the One Ring in, I'm fucked. If it's not... Alright, well it is. Okay, I'm going to have Force of Will in my hand, though. Not that I'm particularly stoked about it. Okay, you have the Ring. Hate that. Now you have Ashiok. Hate that even more. I think if I force Ashiok, though, I might be able to get over the finish line. I know my top card is Ponder. This has to attack, even though it doesn't work. Take one from your Ring. Got 2 counters on the Ring. Fetch land. In with Grief. Dark Ritual. What are we doing here? Liliana of the Veil? I can't beat that either. Well, I mean, I guess Ashiok is technically better than Liliana being in play for me. I will keep the Ponder. Ashiok messes up my graveyard, but I can at least attack them. My fetch lands don't work anymore. What am I looking for? Like, Lightning Bolt? Wait, where'd my Ponder go? Oh, right. Ashiok just mills me. Correct. Well, I could kill Ashiok here. Or I could try to just go face. I'm going to attack them for 1. And I'm going to hold on to this Lightning Bolt. And hope that the Ring does enough damage. Maybe they'll Thoughtseize me at some point, and then I can light them up in response, get some value there. They do need a life gain effect. But they're drawing a lot of cards. I imagine they'll find one. If they play one. Grief still attacking. Draw for turn. Scalding Tarn sucks. I'm going to attack them. They could just jump a Bowmaster in front of this or something. Just 1,000 ways to stuff this. Sheoldred's Edict. Yep, that works. And I'll play the Scalding Tarn. Doesn't work right now, but I'll put it into play. They are going to 6 off this Ring trigger, and I can bolt them. They have to gain life this turn to not die. Okay, I'm taking 2 from Grief. They've got 2 cards in their hand. They are just hitting me with Ashiok. There's only 1 Lightning Bolt in exile. They're tapping the Ring. Okay. Probably the correct thing to do, because they were dying to Lightning Bolt anyway, and this gives them a chance to do something about it. But it's too late for a lifelink creature. They need... Like, they can't Shadow Spear here. They needed to activate that pre-combat if that was the play. Voidwalker, don't care. If they play a fresh Ring, that's actually really good. They did not do that. Okay. Stern Dismissal. Fun. Just gonna pass here, I guess. If they do something in the end step, I'll bolt them. Bowmaster, bolt you? Question mark. Are you dead? Do you have some trick? You're at 3. Can they kill their own ring somehow? Can they bolt me with Thoughty Voidwalker? Uh-oh. That's actually slightly concerning. I'm going to Stern Dismissal the Voidwalker and just make sure they can't, like, Bowmaster, bolt me. I don't know. Let's get that out. Moment of truth. You're drawing 5 in response. 10 cards in your hand. Can you gain 3 life at instant speed? Dark Ritual is being cast. Uh-oh. Do they play, like, March of Black cards? Can they make me draw cards at instant speed? Okay, I'm at 5. Sign in Blood is a sorcery. There's more. 5. Yeah, okay. Wow, GG's. I am glad I Stern Dismissaled the Voidwalker, because that Lightning Bolt underneath, I don't know, like maybe, I mean, they just have a lot of cards in their hand, and maybe they could have found 2 more damage, but not 5 more. That was spicy. On to the next one. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the play, in round 3, I'm going to keep this hand. I've got Daze, Brainstorm, and a bunch of lands to brainstorm away. Perfect. Opponent's on 6. Volcanic Island go from me. I'd rather save my fetch lands if I can. If they wasteland me, I don't care. Oh, we got some Oops All Spells in the chat. I guess it could be some kind of Black Stompy deck. Wasteland ya. Let's take that out. Another one. Big brainstorm time. This is too many lands. There we go. Put back a Volk, and it doesn't matter. They're all islands. Okay, I have 2 Dazes here to stay alive with, which is not actually that good. Fetch in my upkeep. Get another Volk. Portent, okay. I could fetch and tap out for a 4/4 Murktide Regent. I could also brainstorm Portent and have a bigger Murktide and maybe a better hand starting after that. The old Portent U strategy hasn't failed me yet. Here I go. Portent U. Cabal Therapy, Dark Ritual, Pact of Negation. Okay. All of those cards are good and terrifying for me. I am going to make them shuffle. And then, oh, I can play Murktide now. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Tropical Island, Murktide. I have to start attacking. As we saw with their Cabal Therapy, Pact of Negation business, if you give them enough time, they'll figure it out. Okay, they just went to clean up and discarded Bridge from Below. Yikes. Is there anything in my main deck that materially changes when I'd want to brainstorm? Maybe just having the most mana up with Questing Druid is the way to do this, because that's a bunch of extra looks. And don't think when your opponent is doing stuff like this that they are not able to present a win. Of course they conceded in the middle of that thing. I was about to say, there's a good chance my opponent could present a win here, but they're looking for a pact or they're just taking their time and they could see the clock. I'm attacking for 5. They have 2 more draw steps to find like a Pact of Negation to try to fight through. Or maybe they actually just didn't do anything and the Wasteland was nuts. Hey, this is definitely a full-ass combo deck. The Grafdigger's Cage and Surgical might be, hit or miss because sometimes they board out of Oops All Spells and into Belcher. But quite certain that the spot removal, not where I want to be. Stern Dismissal, does this hit anything I care about? It does hit enchantments. Just trying to think if there's an enchantment I care about in the matchup. I don't think there is. They sometimes board some ley lines and stuff, but I don't think those affect these matchups. Do I want Meltdown? This can attack their mana if I get a... Like, is Meltdown in any number better than more Baubles? Currently 69 cards in my deck. Nice. Should probably just hit submit. Maybe 1 Meltdown over 1 Bauble. Meltdown's only good if you survive the first wave, and then you can cut out a bunch of their resources from presenting a second wave. So it's not a card I want in large numbers. I might not want any. Okay, Force Portent. Keep. This hand does not lose to Cabal Therapy, it does lose to Pact Mitigation. My opponent has mulled to 4 cards. So land, ritual, Lotus Petal, creature is 4. They can present a win here without protection. Trying to think of 4 cards that kill me with protection. Thoughtseize, alright, yeah, that's fine. I have 2 things here that matter. Force of Negation can be tricky, because if they have, like, Spirit Guide straight into the creature, they can win without actually playing a non-creature spell. The Dread Return is a non-creature, of course, but at that point they're going to have a bunch of Cabal Therapies and Narcomoebas and stuff. I get so much card selection here. This DRC was a nutso rip. Daze, put that right on top. What are you drawing over there? Another Thoughtseize. Okay. I think that's fine. I'll save my other Bauble. Maybe that didn't make any sense, because they could strip a free counter off me regardless with the Thoughtseize. Alright, another one of these. Took the Force of Negation, that's fair. Bauble you now. Summoner's Pact, okay. That is a card that you're drawing. Meltdown, yeah, there's that perfect card that doesn't help here. I believe this is a spot where I want to portent myself. I am much more interested in my cards now than theirs. Brainstorm on top. Okay. I'm actually just going to leave all of this here. If this was Ponder, I would slam this Wasteland so hard right now, but it's not. And I have to decide if they're going to go for it here or not. I guess I don't have to build a card. All right. I'm going to put the Brainstorm in my hand as a blue card, so I have Force and Daze going into this turn. Having the Force here is super annoying for them because they've Thoughtseize me twice. Okay, and if I Brainstorm in my upkeep, I can mill the Polluted Delta that I don't want. This gives up... Oh, shit. Why is this here? I fucked up. Shit. God damn it. Did I leave that there? How did I do that? I just, like, completely deleted my brain for a second. All right. At least I get a good... I don't know what just happened, but at least I get a good Brainstorm out of the deal. Wasteland, your 1 land. Days just got a lot better. And I found another blue card so I can play this Delver. I promise I'm tighter on knowing where my ponders are in real life when I'm also trying to narrate and all this other stuff. Okay, yeah, cool. Luckily, it didn't matter that much, but that was a slight miscalculation. You can't do that shit at Eternal Weekend. On to the next round, though. The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order, only at coalesceapparel.shop. I am on the draw in round 4 against Tony Scapone, who I have been talking to about his mono blue PO deck a little bit, and he just messaged me on social media like 1 minute ago saying, I'm streaming the deck live right now, by the way, and then we queued into each other. So he's on mono blue PO. I'm going to keep this. I don't think Daze is enough to beat this deck on its own, but Wasteland is pretty powerful. I have done some practice leagues with this. This mono blue PO deck is in my top 5 for Eternal Weekend. It's kind of my dark horse, and I'm saying on a video live for 10, 20,000 people, whatever, that I am considering this deck, so it's not much of a secret anymore, but like, it's just something I want to be aware of if I want to juke. Is this something that is good against the matchups I'm worried about? Stay tuned on this channel for some more mono blue PO leagues, because I got them. Manifold Key, Urza Saga. I'm going to bobble his draw. Force of Will is over there. Okay, I'm going to send the Wasteland now. Like, cutting an Urza Saga out from under him, that's the backup plan. That's a tutor. It's half the mana to get a Grim Monolith started. Another Wasteland, okay. Ancient Tomb, tilt. There's Grim Monolith. I couldn't stop it. And sending another Wasteland in here might be mediocre. The problem is the One Ring is the card that matters in the deck. And if he just has any land, you can play it. But I do know 2 of the 3 cards in hand. I'm going to send another Wasteland in. Oh no, fucking this doesn't even matter. I forgot Manifold Key can untap Grim Monolith. Yeah, I've been playing this deck. Yeah, certainly looks like it, dumbass. Okay, I'm probably just going to lose to the One Ring now. That Wasteland just didn't even do anything. Bauble. Okay, 1 unknown card in the hand. Bobbling me. Okay. I didn't die immediately. I could ponder looking for a force. Knowing he has force backup is mildly concerning, though. Could just add to the board. Actually, ponder. I'm going to send the ponder. Second daze. Ugh. Alright, shuffle this. I think if I hadn't played a bunch of this deck on my own, I would be a lot more confident in just dropping my Delver here, but I know how little it takes to just pop off and win the game with. And I'm just trying desperately to answer that one thing. And I might be in my own head about it, but I also might be appropriately respecting the list that's in front of me. Emery, okay. And Milled Paradox Engine. There's only one of those in the deck, and it's now in the graveyard, so he'll need Emery to unlock it. Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'm going to Brainstorm. A second Daze. Wow, this is super medium. Fetch and play a Dragon's Rage Channeler, I guess. But I do have Delirium. He's got 2 cards in him. One of them's Force of Will. There's a Bauble in the graveyard that could start drawing 2 cards a turn with the Emery. Emery targeting Paradox Engine. All right, we're just sending that. All right, the double Daze is not going to be enough here. Okay, so he has basically infinite mana. I can't counter this. If he casts a spell here, Emery is infinite draws and infinite mana. Like, that's what I'm talking about. This happens so quick and you're just fucked. If he casts any spell here, it untaps the key, the monolith, and the Emery. And then Emery can tap to cast Bauble, which then untaps Emery. And he just draws his deck for next turn. Okay, that somehow didn't happen. But I have this turn to figure it out. Brainstorm. I'm going to bin this Brainstorm. I need velocity here. There's the Lightning Bolt. Okay, does this actually help? If I put back Murktide, and then fetch, get Volcanic Island. If I Lightning Bolt, he forces, untaps his permanents. In response to the permanent untap, I can do what? Just lose? Yeah, I can pay for double Daze here. Oh, that's so bad for me. Okay, I'm going to attack. That part at least is going to happen, whether I like it or not. Okay, Bolt Emery. I should probably at least play the Channeler first for extra selection. Bolt Emery. Mill Volcanic Island. Backup Lightning Bolt. This is not going to matter. Bolt to the graveyard. Yeah, here's the Force of Will. I can't even respond to Paradox Engine by double dazing because he has exactly enough mana here. And, okay. That is countered, and I guess I just gotta hope that it doesn't have an outlet for infinite mana. He could spend this turn drawing, like, a million cards, and then pass. Alright, fingers crossed. If he could do anything with infinite mana, I lose. Okay, untapping Monolith. Emery targeting Bauble. And we're dead. Okay, that is just, you draw your deck and you win. Yeah, I just never looked at a Force of Will in that game, unfortunately. Meltdown, Force of Negation, Counterbalance, probably good enough here. Pyroblast. I do have a lot of stuff to bring in here. Unholy Heat and Lightning Bolt can all chill. Like, I know we just saw Emery, but I'm side grading into Pyroblast. I don't think I want. And Blood Moon does blank Saga, but it also blanks my ability to cantrip and cast Daze, so no thanks. Stern Dismissal can bounce an Urza Saga or an Emery. I shave a Murktide here. And that is the biggest, clunkiest threat that I have. He's not going to attack my mana. Do I go to 17 lands and cut the basic island? I don't know, 18 is already flirting with irresponsibility. I could cut a Questing Druid to get some Lightning Bolts back in. Or even move like a Daze over to a Lightning Bolt, because Tony is not going to get dazed unless I force him into that position. We saw how much mana this deck makes even after getting Wastelanded twice last game. Okay, I'm going to leave 2 Bolts in. Or Murktide's probably better than Bolt just because it's blue. And I have 4 answers to Emery's, 5 with Stern Dismissal. That doesn't feel like enough. Okay. I'm going to do it like this. I will keep this hand, and I'm going to be portent targeting me. I definitely blew at game 1, Wastelanding, forgetting that the key can untap the Monolith and just have enough mana to play around Daze anyway. There's only one key in this deck, and it's usually meant to untap the ring, but going after Monolith is perfectly reasonable. 4/10 target me. Opponent's on 6. Force, land, land. Okay. Top, top, top. I'm drawing Force of Will, or Force of Negation, and then I have a shuffle underneath that can clear the extra land. Candy Trail, Scry 2. I will not be forcing that. This card is deceptively powerful, though. ETB Scry 2, you can pay 2 to gain 3 life and draw a card. It's a fun thing to pick up and put down with Paradoxical Outcome. It's card selection out of Urza's Saga. Okay, if this bauble targets me right now, it's going to see a Scalding Tarn. And that is what happened. Scalding Tarn, I think I just pass here. Pyroblast, Force of Negation. And then, if nothing happens, I can Seek the Beast. Save this Portent to pitch. Saga's pretty good. Pyrite Spellbomb. I could also just draw my land here. Play my land. That does not answer this Urza Saga, though. I'm going to Seek the Beast. Mono Volcanic Islands. This would be a bad time to flip Meltdown. Awful time to flip Force of Will. Okay, I can play Ponder from my hand. I did find the Wasteland, but I also found Counterbalance. Alright. Don't shuffle. Volcanic Island. Counterbalance. And I have Force in Exile that I can pitch. I was so excited for the Counterbalance. I think the Wasteland is under it, and countering zeros actually does matter against this deck. That's twice now that I've not been fully aware of what's under, or what's on top of my deck right after looking at it. That's not how you win Eternal Weekend. Okay, I was correct, though. Wasteland this Urza Saga. Get to make a 3/3. And my top card costs 1 at this time. I am going to Portent myself. There's the Meltdown, love it. Look at the cards, okay. Scalding Tarn, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Meltdown. Do not shuffle. There's going to be a 1 on top of my deck, and Meltdown in my hand. And that's the plan. There's not really that many important 1s in the deck. It's 0s, 2s, and 4s. I'm not going to reveal my on Lotus Petal. There's a 1 there. Another Saga. Hate that for me. Yeah, I think 0 is actually the best card you can usually have on top of your deck here. Well, I certainly don't have a 7. I am going to Pyroblast this card because it will be in play and messing me up for a while after Meltdown clears the rest of the board. You got to take 4 off this one. The top of my deck is a 0 right now. I could play Dragon's Rage Channeler first, but I think it's more important that the Meltdown resolves. And I can back it up with Pyroblast right now, which I can't do if I play the DRC. It draws a card with Pyrite Spellbomb off the Lotus Petal, getting some value on the way out. And then Dragon's Rage Channeler, get in. Top card is a 0. I would like to reveal, yes. Scalding Tarn revealed, counters Mishra's Bauble. Got him. Counterbalance, doing work. Ancient Tomb. Time to find a Wasteland or the other Meltdown. Brainstorm. Trigger. Wasteland's right on top. Keep it. Put back Volcanic Island and Scalding Tarn. Or, oh yeah, I'm playing Wasteland this turn. Yeah, putting back the Scalding Tarn is fine. Wasteland and Volcanic Island, Scalding Tarn are back. Wasteland hit the Saga. They can make a 1/1 here. And if I cast my Delver, I lose my insurance against the ring, which is the thing I'm worried about here. Otawara is mana number 5. Thoughtcast. I will not reveal my 0 for Thoughtcast. I am going to counter this. The deck has Paradoxical Outcome in it, but like, he's not even using that right now, and I will... Ooh. I'm actually going to keep the Scalding Tarn because that casts Questing Druid, and the Volcanic Island under it doesn't. 1 card left over there. Neither of us want to trade our creatures. Scalding Tarn, fetch for the Trop. I no longer know what my top card is. Questing Druid, get in. And I'm still not playing this Delver, even though it grows the Druid. Having access to Force of Negation, too important. He's got 1 card in hand. Mox Opal, I will reveal for that. Did we get there? I revealed Dragon's Rage Channeler. Alright. There's a 1 on top of my deck. Alright, just dumping out 2 baubles while the getting's good. Fair enough. Got a 3-3 now. That's pretty good. Still not winning the race. As I play my Channeler, Grows Questing Druid, I get back in for 3. I can slow down to block at some point, and he can't. If he ever taps the Ancient Tomb, we just flip it. Opponent has seen Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'm going to run it out. And I'm going to continue to hold back the Delver. I can hardcast the Force, but if I play the Delver, I can't do that. So just slightly behind on the mana to do stuff. And I will push damage. This bauble can see what counterbalance has under it. Get some free information. But also bobbling me makes the construct smaller and turns off the Mox Opal. It's a real balancing act around here. Okay, there's a ring, or no, a PO on the stack targeting one thing. I'd like to know what's on top of my deck. You already do. Murktide. I'm not going to force this 4-mana draw 1. That's fine. And lose 2 life for the pleasure. Yeah, I'm drawing Murktide. Murktide comes down as a heckin' chonker. Oh, I was missing creature, not sorcery. Interesting. Hold on, I actually have a ton of sorceries in my graveyard. Okay. Here's my Murktide. I'm actually going to attack with everything now that I am aware of what I'm missing for Delirium. Just want to make sure he's dead next turn. Okay, taking the obvious block. 3 cards in hand. Has to beat a Force of Negation from 6 life. Bauble, reveal, questing Druid on top. You won't be able to Grim Monolith this turn. Pyroblast targeting the Murktide. That's fine. I would hate to fight over that Pyroblast and then get got by the One Ring. And here I'm able to seek the Beast pre-combat. Mill this Flooded Strand. Flip 2 lands, okay. Is there a fetchable left in my deck? The basic island is still in there. Just thinking about the fetchable, because that gives me 2 looks at counterbalance if I need to shuffle something. Yeah, the basic island's still in there. Then attack with both creatures here. This Bauble saw Delver of Secrets in my hand. That's not the important card, but it is. It start the process of elimination. Okay, back to dead on board and has to beat Force of Negation with an Ancient Tomb to do it. Cool. Scrappy. Do I want to make any changes here? Blood Moon still hurts me more than it hurts him, even though he's got the Sagas. I'm a Wasteland deck, just use them. Daze is probably worse on the draw, where Emery is better on the play. 5 answers to 4 Emerys. I think I'm okay with that number. And Daze just being blue is such a good tiebreaker too. And if I get to a spot where I melt down successfully, then Daze gets turned on in a big way. My hand on the draw here is a Fistful of Fire. I can apply a lot of pressure very quickly, but I have no meaningful interaction. I am good against an Emery start. I'm going to try this for science, because there's like the world where you just mulligan for a Force or whatever, and then your competent combo opponent just beats your 5-card hand, versus just lighting him the fuck up with a ton of early pressure. Delver, go. Urza Saga. Okay. Lotus Petal. Okay. Grim Monolith. Yikes. Alright, let's flip Delver, Revealing Force. Wasteland. Okay. That's not what I wanted, but it's not bad either. Wasteland, hit the Saga, and then play a backup Delver. And basically, it's a matter of, if he has the ring, does he want to shove it into Force of Will? And how long can he afford to play around it if he doesn't want to shove? This deck does play 1 Pyroblast, and he could play a ring with Pyroblast backup right now, if he's got all those cards in his hand. Thoughtcast, resolves. Tony's also really good at the level system, where it's like, control players can keep hands without interaction in Game 3, because players are going to play around interaction, but he knows that you know that, and then he doesn't play around interaction, and there is like a big level system going on here. We're not just playing our decks. Ponder, please find a Force. Force, ding, okay. Do not shuffle, play my land, attack for 6, and then I'm going to shove the other Delver Okay. Blazing Speed with a single Force of Will backup. The Gambit that my opening hand didn't need interaction with it paid off this time. However, he's got 6 cards and a ton of mana. If he can resolve a One Ring and Force to Protect over the top of it, I might just lose next turn. Grim Monolith, okay. Paradoxical Outcome. So this is tough because I don't want to let him draw 3, but I also don't want him to resolve the ring. Alright, I will fight over this draw 3. This might be bait, but it's the type of bait that I have to counter. Alright, he has the Pyroblast. Alright, I am in trouble. The Pyroblast is the perfect tool, and if he found a ring, we might just get buried here. Monolith, Monolith, 4 cards in hand, 4 mana in the pool, Aetherflux Reservoir, that might be even worse, actually. Emery gains 7 life when he casts it. I mean, it's not worse than the ring. That is definitely not the case. Milled a 1 ring, so Emery has to die. Delver, reveal Force of Negation. Lightning Bolt Emery, she's got to go. My card is not a blue card. Opponent doesn't need to know that, though. And I'm not interested in taking a risk here, where, like, questing Druid, if I hit a land, then I can bolt anyway. No thanks. Okay, passing the turn here. Can manually untap one of these Grim Monoliths in the end step. Okay, now I have Force of Negation up, even without a blue card. Send in the bugs. Okay, he's going to have 3 cards in hand, access to 7 mana, and then Aetherflux Reservoir. Could dig out into another turn, maybe. It's going to be tough, though. Kind of has to be Ring plus Force blue card. Okay, Tony said this is his first loss to Rug in almost 10 matches, so I guess we played well, but we could see how the dam would have broken a number of spots there. Here I am analyzing Tony's deck more than my own because I'm more interested in that one. The dam didn't break, but there was a couple spots where it's just like, well, please don't have the ring. But also, Meltdown's in the sideboard, 7 forces. This matchup is got a lot to it. Let's go play. We got 1 round left, right? Yeah, that was round 4. Let's go. If you're looking to run a CEDH or 1v1 tournament, Eminence Gaming has your back with Command Tower. With Command Tower's intuitive tournament manager dashboard, you can handle decklist submission and player management with just a few clicks. Players just need to scan the event's QR code for access to the full tournament bracket, including seamless pairings and real-time standing updates. Take the guesswork out of tournament organizing. Try Command Tower for your next event. On the play in the final round, no threat in my hand, but I do have Daze and Wasteland. And, of course, Island Ponder. I've had a lot of coaching sessions with people who play Delver, and I see them mulling perfectly good hands, and I'm like, what just happened there? And they're like, well, it didn't have a threat. Like, so what? These hands are fine. I'm drawing Delver now off this Ponder. I stack the Wasteland under it, and the Bolt under that. Delighted Halfling. Okay. I regret stacking the Bolt how I did. I was trying to get clever and flip the Delver further down the line. I almost have the perfect Bolt your idiot. Wasteland you start. I'm going to Daze their idiot, though. Daze this, waste them. They're going to be some kind of creature deck. And I have double Wasteland plus Lightning Bolt. The Delver's going to have to wait. Wasteland ya. This kind of puts them on the play. Like, they get to make the first land drop now from this empty board. But I'm just hoping that their cards are worse than mine. A Tundra, and a Bayou, and a Delighted Halfling. That is certainly a bunch of cards. Bunch of colors. I'm going to play Delver here rather than waste them. They kept their Ponder, which means they're not frantically looking for stuff. And if they play Beanstalk this turn, then they're not killing Delver. Then I can waste their Tundra and move the game forward. Okay. If they have Plow here, that's not a Plow. All right. Cool. Stuck my threat in. The additional discussion from the you don't have to mulligan hands just because they don't have a threat in them is you do want to find windows to put threats into play, though. Mishra's Bauble, no love. I'm going to bobble your top of your deck. It is a land. That's unfortunate. Lightning Bolt your creature. Waste your Tundra. And attack with my Delver. Questing Druid. Hey, this deck has at least 4 colors in it, and Wasteland. All right, yeah, let's fucking party. Yeah, they want to do this. Come on, Delver. Give them the business. Ponder. Ding. Fetch. I'm not going to play in fear of Wasteland. Daze, DRC, Bauble, all good shit. Don't shuffle, Bauble you. Swords to Plowshares is there. I'm going to draw Daze this turn, and then DRC after that. Unfortunately, I know this Windswept Heath can cast Swords to Plowshares. Looks like they're actually just doing fine on mana, despite my early annoyances. Now I can try to Ponder, hit a land, and play DRC with that land. Or I could just play DRC. I would like Dragon's Rage Channeler in play, guaranteed here. We've waded through 2 halflings and 3 lands. If Daze was going to be live, we're here for it. Windswept Heath still in the hand. Please cast a 3-drop. Absolutely shattered. Bang, we did the work. We got the Daze. Dragon's Rage Channeler into the graveyard. Found another Daze. I can cast a Ponder. Portent can go to the graveyard. Bauble, Delver, Ponder. None of these are lands, but they are a continuous blast of pressure. They're not Force of Will either. I'm actually going to shuffle this. I found a land. I can start Seeking the Beast next turn. They do have 4 mana to my 1, and 11 is a comfortable life total. Just gotta hope that they're almost out of stuff to do. There's the Heath, finally. Maybe they'll shove a 1 ring just into another Daze. Or Minskin Boo off this Taiga. It's a 4-drop. Nobody has 2 Dazes in their hand ever. Ponder, I actually am going to keep this. That's a good thing to do with my mana next turn. Ooh, they held back a Force blue card. Clever. Okay, Minskin Boo's going to resolve. And the race is on. I am going to take 4, and then take 4, and then lose my Dragon's Rage Channeler. Tough break. I think I want to just go face here. Just finding 2 lightning bolts is my best path out of this game, I think. There's 1. Okay, lightning bolt, Delver of Secrets, Mishra's Bauble. Do not shuffle the library. Play the Bauble, mill the Delver. Bauble you, what are you drawing? One of the 5 cards you're going to draw this turn. Okay, it's a Leyline Binding. The Boo will attack me, and then it will kill my DRC by dealing 4 to it and draw 4 cards. This does put Minskin Boo into bolt range, if I think that's a better fight than trying to get the final 6 over their face. Delighted Halfling. There's 2 bolts left in my deck. Okay, time to make a decision. How am I playing this game? I think I start with Brainstorm. Oh, am I getting Bowmastered here? That sucks every ass. Fucking A. I should have thought about that a little bit. They do have black mana. Okay, I'm taking a million. Maybe not even winning the race versus Minskin Boo anymore. There's the second bolt. Okay, well, that Bowmaster sucks, because otherwise I'm where I want to be. Okay, so I'm at 10. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly enough, exactly lethal. If I had made my land drop first, what happens? Because I have to bolt Minskin Boo now. That was really shitty. Could I have played around that? I guess if I just go fetch land pass, they end step the Bowmaster, I brainstorm in response, they're not killing me this turn. So Boo could just sack the Orc army and that's 10. No, okay. Or no, it would have been a 1-1 though. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, not quite dead there. Okay, I'm at 3. I have to draw my last lightning bolt off the top. And fucked it. Yeah, I should have just played my fetch land and passed. Though, if they don't have... I don't want to be results-oriented about that. Obviously, it was a huge blowout, and it was awful. But they had 3 cards in their hand, and I knew one of them. And anything other than Orcish Bowmaster there, I could have at least played my land first. Because I was playing that fetch land that turn no matter what. That would have saved me 6 damage there. But if I bolt the Bowmaster, I lose to the Minskin Boo. Yeah, they might have just had me, but I should have at least acknowledged the possibility of stuff. Okay, Blood Moon definitely coming in against this 4-color deck. They have stupid Planeswalkers and stupid creatures, so Unholy Heat coming in. Pyroblast, what did we see? We saw the Fairy and Force of Will were the blue cards that I saw. Yeah, I think it's actually just these 3. And Bauble, Bauble, Murktide's pretty interesting because I can't actually cast it with a Blood Moon in play. You cut one of those when you bring in your moons. It's always a blue card, and then sometimes you don't have Blood Moon. Yeah, I'm going to try it. Let's do it like this. Keep my hand. Dragon's Rage Channeler, go. I hope they don't go to hero mode and wasteland me here. I can't imagine this deck has that many wastelands in it. There's a halfling. I'm going to Unholy Heat that in my upkeep to get the card selection. I do not want Ponder, I want land. Didn't get there. Okay, now they know I have one land. They don't have white mana here. Brainstorm in the main phase. What black card are they looking for there? A Brainstorm before the Bowmasters come to life. Bottom the other one. Come on, lands. We got there. Yeah, missing land and creature. I don't think I need a third channeler. I don't want to run out of threats here, but I also don't want to run out of cards. Are cards more important than threats? I do have Questing, Druid, and Delver. And Dragon's Rage Channeler. A Volcanic Island, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Number 2. There's a Brainstorm. They do have their land drop this time. And they unlocked white mana. And they have a Plow. I'm going to start with a Ponder. I'd love to find a Wasteland. Delver into the graveyard, that gives me Delirium. Lightning Bolt, another Delver. And this is another threat. If I don't shuffle, and then I play Brainstorm, I can mill this Lightning Bolt, Brainstorm. There's Blood Moon. That is what I was looking for here on this dig. Put Questing Druid and Portent back. This is the turn they could play Minskin Boo. I think I'd just rather have more creatures to play, though. Has to attack. Play Delver. Off with the basic. Getting set up for this. They have an island in play, and we've seen Forest in their deck. The Blood Moon's not a hard lock. Endurance. Okay, that's pretty good. Please fetch a dual land. They did not fetch a dual land. Delver reveals another Dragon's Rage Channeler. I don't actually want Delirium here. So if I can finish off the Endurance with Lightning Bolt, that's not bad. Alright, I'm just going to Blood Moon. I'll try to make their life harder where I can. There's the Forest. It's at least not a Plains. Alright, bin the other Blood Moon. And no attacks here. They don't have white mana. They can never Prismatic or Leyline Binding. I do need to answer this Endurance at some point. Delver, reveal Brainstorm. Dragon's Rage Channeler is a card I can cast. If I Ponder, I see a million cards here. Might end up having to attack, but I think it's okay. Land to the bin. Ponder to the bin. Force of Will, 2 Lightning Bolts. Cool. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Do not shuffle my library, and I'm going to pass, and then next turn I can Bolt with Force backup, and then just send in the squad. There's a Ponder. Delighted Halfling. I don't like that this turns on a bunch of mana and stuff. And I can just bolt it and deal with the Endurance later. Oh, if I bolt, though, I have Delirium. I'm missing instant. Okay. I will be fighting the Endurance and putting them on a 1-turn clock then. Top. Lightning Bolt again. I guess I could have just attacked. And with the Bolt on top, it's still a 2-turn clock, but I get to kill Delighted Halfling as well. Alright, I hope they don't have a Legend that just beats me here. They're at 4. I have 3 3-power creatures and Lightning Bolt on top of my deck. Were they dead to Bolt last turn? If I just went face for 6 and then attacked for 6? Okay, yeah. I'm just playing horribly here. It's a Fairy Time Raveler, can't be countered, does not save you. I mean, bouncing Blood Moon might unlock some options. Yep, that is what's happening. This fetch land makes Bolt lethal. Maybe just casually missing lethal with Force backup last turn. We don't talk about that. Okay, opponent's at 3. That is an important number. That makes all of my creatures lethal plus the Bolt on top. Re-Teferi, okay. And bouncing Delver. They should know right now if they've won or lost. Okay. Got away with that one. Yikes. Endurance in the deck. I don't think that comes as a surprise. Yeah, Teferi and cantrips and counterspells are still the only Power Blast targets we've seen. Maybe I should assume this is an Uro deck. I still think Force and Daze are good enough here that I don't want to go in on Pyroblast. We've seen enough non-blue things. Just going to go in with the same deck. Cool. Love this hand. Don't love that. I think I have to force this. It's just not really a beatable card otherwise. One of the major criticisms of this Rug Delver build is how soft it is to carpet. Like, in the late game, you can Blood Moon them and then never play your island and win off just mountains. But with basic forests in the mix, that even messes that up. It's not even like a pure 5-color situation. I want to get this beast questing. I'm going to fetch the basic just in case I flip Blood Moon here. Seek the beast. They're doing something. Youth. Alright. That was a good Hydroblast. Portent myself. Murktide Regent Wasteland land. Okay. I don't want Misty Rainforest. I do want Murktide Regent. Do I want Wasteland? Don't shuffle. I have a land I can play. Yeah, I can daze this turn and then still Wasteland plus Murktide. And I'll decide based on what they do here if Wasteland's something I want access to. It's a Fairy Time Reveler. I will be dazing that for sure. And the fact that they played this before making their land drop makes me suspicious that they just don't have another one, and I definitely want the Wasteland. Cut them off blue, cut them off black, can't take them off white. Blue is the color for sure. Grab Volcanic Island, shove Murktide. We don't leave Wasteland and Questing Druid in my graveyard. They have Endurance in their deck. Like, if they want to hit me with an Endurance, I would like my good cards to go back into the deck. Drew a land right away. Disappointing. I am kind of running on fumes here. If they have another Teferi, bounce this Murktide, and then I'm just not doing anything, that's tough. Okay, I was right to take them off blue. They had a Brainstorm in their hand. I would love a Questing Druid right now. Not mad about Ponder. We have seen Orcish Bowmaster in their deck, but that doesn't counter my Ponder. It's fine. And Murktide's too big. Yeah, whatever. If that was Brainstorm, I would have held it, but Ponder doesn't work that way. This can be a Portent U situation. God, I love that so much. Such a weirdo. Okay, Portent U, and I draw a Lightning Bolt off the Portent. Jesus Christ. I don't like it anymore. Shuffle it, shuffle it, shuffle, shuffle. Any order, shuffle. Well, that was just 3 cards I can't beat. I need this Murktide to make them dead. From coast to coast. There's my Lightning Bolt. Ponder, hate this. They have so much white removal in their deck, and then I'm just kind of stuck. Did I play this island last turn? Was I supposed to play the Polluted Delta? Is there a brick fetch land on top of my deck right now that I could have shuffled away? I feel like there is. Okay, they have another Orcish Bowmaster. I could kill this Orc army now, or I could play a game where my next Lightning Bolt is lethal and plan for a world where they answer Murktide Regent. Yep, I could have shuffled this away and didn't. Okay, play Polluted Delta, pass the turn, 4, 5, 6. They have to answer Murktide this turn, or they take 6. And I can draw another bolt to win the game. Fingers crossed. Something's happening. Witherbloom Command draining me for 2. Okay. I'm at 1. Glad I didn't fetch. Glad I held the bolt. Yeah, their last card in hand needs to deal 1 damage, or kill Murktide, or counter Lightning Bolt. Moment of truth. And I will not be letting them untap. Please don't have another Hydroblast. Oh yeah, okay. Play to win. Hold on to that Lightning Bolt. I'm not going to say I played that match perfectly, but not bolting that 3/3 Orc army was definitely... I feel good about that. A 4-1 finish, even with some bumps in the road. I mean, this deck's good. Like, I don't know that it needs a cosign from me after winning an Eternal Weekend. It does feel strange that your Blood Moons turn off your Murktide Regents and your Questing Druids completely, with no plan, no backup plan. The Blood Moon tech was probably better 3 weeks ago too than it is now, because people weren't necessarily ready for it. The 4 and 5 color decks were heckin' super greedy versus now where we just played against one that had multiple basic lands in it. Whether this should be Blood Moon or Price of Progress depends on the metagame, depends on your deck overall. It was probably really good at Eternal Weekend, and now it's a little bit more known, and don't plan for this to win the game on its own, is what I'm saying. Important targeting my opponent was a lot of fun. Did a lot of that in this league. In that last round, the Portent shuffling away Uro, Teferi, Leyline Binding, and I would have lost to any one of those cards, and they would have had all three of them. Obviously, shuffling it just makes it randomly into the deck, and they could have drawn them anyway. It's not like a counter spell for an important card, but that was not nothing. The Questing Druid felt kind of anemic in this deck compared to decks with actual dedicated green support, where Questing Druid's more of a plan. And maybe that's okay, because you do have Delver and Dragon's Rage Channeler, and Questing Druid's supposed to be the second wave, the reserve forces, versus the actual plan. But I definitely felt that you frequently just couldn't cast this card, or at least the creature part of it. And Delver's great, though. Murktide Region's great. Wasteland Daze. Force of Will. This shell, you can't really go wrong with, but do as I say, not as I do. Make sure you know like where your cards are with the Ponders. There were at least 3 spots that I can remember off the top of my head right now where I was just like, wait, what's on top of my deck right now? And those do convert. That is the difference between winning Eternal Weekend and going 6-4 in the Swiss. It's very important to see every card. On that last turn where my opponent, if they just answer Murktide Regent, they win. I did not need to draw that Misty Rainforest. I could have shuffled it away. However, I did end up winning the game at 1, so maybe I played perfectly. That's a joke. I played poorly, but randomly got unreversed punished for it. Rewarded? Is that the word for unreversed punished? Alright, I'm just rambling at this point. My mind is gone, oozing out the side of my ear and down my back. So I'm just going to sign off. Parain, thank you for asking me to play, air quotes, Temur Delver. Actually, is it Delver? Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Good luck at Eternal Weekend if you're going. I'll see you there. Come say hi to me at the 3-for-1 trading booth on Thursday night from 4 to 7. And I'll be around for the rest of the weekend, in addition to that as well. Thanks for watching. See you next time.